Hi there. We're going to be making this image today um, as a recap and a way to practice all the skills we've learned to date. Um, there's a handout here following stating the different steps of what we need to do to make this image. The source files are in our Teams channel. To download them, if you click on the image and then you hit the download arrow, they'll end up in your downloads folder. Right, so let's get started. Let's open the Norway image first. First thing we need to do is unlock it. Then we need to straighten the image. The straighten is hidden under the eyedropper tool up here. So if you select the ruler tool, you left click and drag along the line you want to be straight, and then you hit straighten layer. It will square your image up nicely. Now I want to select the crop tool. I've said in the handout it needs to be 16 by 9. I think by default it's set to ratio up here, but if you change it to 16 by 9 it will work nicely. I'm going to hold Alt to scale this down from the middle and drag it by a corner and drag it so I've got quite a lot of C, and I think I mentioned I want this yellow house in on the left and this house with the columns on the right. I also want enough space to fit a submarine in later. So this rule of thirds grid is pretty much along the seafront here. And then I'm going to click OK. Now we want to make some adjustments to the image. So I'm going to click Adjustments layer and do Levels. And I'm bringing the dark tones up and the highlights in a bit. I think I actually gave some settings. 21 and 229. So we'll do what I say. So we can type in 21 and 229 to give exactly those ones. And I add a hue saturation one, and I said hue saturation and change it to plus 14. So that's turning up the saturation until we've got 14, just to make the colours kind of stand out and pop a little bit. That's good. Next I want to get rid of these flagpoles and some of these lampposts. So we're going to do that slightly differently than I showed you initially, where I'm going to make a layer and select the spot healing brush. Now for this to work, sample all layers needs to be enabled. And once that's enabled, we can just left click and drag over some of these flagpoles. There's one up here. That's probably a lamppost, but we'll get rid of that too. Let's get rid of that lamppost. Let's get rid of that lamppost. And that one. And that one. The reason I've created an extra layer is so these repairs are undoable. We can get rid of them if we choose. Right, next I'm going to select the image layer again and the patch tool, and I want to get rid of this boat here. So I'm going to left click and drag around the boat to make a selection, then left click inside it, keeping left click pressed, and drag over another area of the wall, and then hopefully it will have disappeared. We can do that same trick with this house up here. So I'm just going to left click around that. You don't need to do this one, and just drag over the trees, and hey presto, we've got rid of that. So far so good. Next I think, let me just check, where's my handout. Lamppost, patch tool, the water, full stop. Bring the submarine into the scene. So that's going to be File, Place Embedded, select my submarine, place it down in the image, click OK. Now these spots are caused by that layer 1, so if we drag my submarine up to the top of the stack, then you won't see those. And then I'm going to use the object selection tool, which as you can recall is just drag a box around your subject, and it does a reasonably good job of selecting it. But I'm going to use select and mask, and I've got this selected to red overlay, and I've turned up the opacity to make this red really strong so I can see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to use the refine edge brush just to kind of follow around the edge of my submarine. We'll get this little, is that a wing? I don't know what they call submarine parts. Just go up and down around the edges of my selection just to improve it a little bit. That looks pretty good. And output to selection and click OK. You can see our selection now. I'm going to hit the layer mask button to drop out the background. Get onto the move tool, making sure transform controls is on. I'm going to hold Alt and drag it from the corner to scale it down, and I'm going to move it to somewhere like that, and then click OK. Now I'm going to draw just over the edge of this with a brush, just to bring some of the original water in, just to make it sit a bit more naturally in the scene. Selecting just the submarine again, I'm going to add a hue saturation layer, and I'm going to desaturate the submarine to make it blend in. Now can you see it's desaturating everything at the moment, which is not what I want. I need to click the clipping button here. So I'm just working on just my submarine. To be a little bit of colour, but it just needs to look a bit natural there. That's good. Right, next step is putting a picture frame on it. So to do that, I want to group all these layers together. Well, shift select them. So I'm holding down shift and selecting it so they're all grey. Then I'm going to right click and do convert to smart object. See, that's put them all in a smart object together. Then I'm going to make a new layer, and using the paint pot I'm going to fill that all white, and then drag that down behind it. Then select my picture again, get on the move tool, transform controls on, hold down Alt, drag it from the corner and click OK, and we've got a picture frame. Brilliant. So have a go at that. If you get stuck in anything, ask me, or and if there's anything missing from your notes on how to do this, we can add those things in. Upload your finished image back up to Teams so we can all have a look at how you went on. Thank you for watching.